Hi, David Petersen here with another Mouse Guard architectural model. This time, it's Ildur Hall from my third book, Mouse Guard the Black Axe. This is the home of the Weasel King Luthebon, and it's inspired by Norse halls and stave churches, probably mostly from the Golden Hall of Edoras from Lord of the Rings. And this model served as both a guide for me for the interiors as well as the exterior. It is modular, meaning I can remove various pieces, not only the front entryway, but also the cupola and this ceiling section, as well as each of the side halls. Now this model was meant to be twice as long as it actually is here. That way I could photograph it twice with the camera locked down and get two versions. And I had a pattern for what happened with the ceiling sections as well as the cupola to know where those were in the grand scheme of things. The materials that I used to make this were chipboard, cardboard, IKEA packaging spacers that were in a flat pack that were used to divide the wood finishes that you didn't want getting scratched up, were most of the front beams on the exterior of the building. And then lots of printed paper designs for tiles and doors and columns, all cut out and then glued in place. At the very back of the model, I made a platform and a throne for King Luthebon to sit on. That way, when I photographed it from the very front or through the doors, I could see all the way to the end to where the good king sat. I did a lot of designing for how I wanted the model to function while I was building the model. It's something I've said before. If I do a drawing of a place and only am designing in 2 dimensions, I'm not as good of a designer. I don't make things as interesting as I could be when I'm holding up 3-dimensional objects, sticks and cardboard, looking at planes and angles in 3 dimensions. To get the exterior view, imagine that there was a mound of earth covering up to certain points on the cupola and certain points on the roof. Unfortunately, I don't think it's conveyed as well as I would have liked it in the books, but this is only supposed to be the main hall. All of these side tunnels are then supposed to lead off to more tunnels, that there would be lots more of the Kingdom of Ildur underneath and to the side, wandering all through those stony hills across the sea. When I got this model out for this video, it had some deterioration, and I definitely need to do some repairs. A lot of the paper that was glued down using a spray adhesive or rubber cement. I think I used spray adhesive or maybe even glue stick now that I think about it. Over time, that glue dries and becomes brittle, and the paper starts peeling away, and the second you touch it, it's almost like the rest of it gives up. So I had to do a lot of repair of re-gluing the paper details back on. And in fact, on some of the columns, I accidentally got the pattern on upside down, something I'll have to remember if I ever need to dust this model off and draw from it as reference again. The architecture of this location was only used in a few issues of a 6-issue arc, but I felt that it was important to really understand this space. To give it a sense of grandeur, I needed to be able to look at it from mouse scale and from weasel scale. I needed something that a hall of weasels could look intimidating, but also see what that point of view would look like from the eyes of a mouse. I wanted it to be recognizable both from the interior and the exterior, and when I showed it again, I wanted the reader to know exactly where they were and not have to figure out, is this a different location or the same one as before? That's why building models like this is so important to me. It helps me design better, it helps me draw better, and it's just fun to do. It's also nice that if I ever need to go back to Ildur again, I can dust the model off, maybe do a few repairs, and start drawing. If you enjoyed this video, I have many more Mouse Guard architectural models in a playlist here on YouTube. Please look through those and enjoy. And as always, thank you for watching.